Hello my beautiful and lovely gamers, my name is Jonal. Season 16 is right around the corner. I would like to hear what you guys placed in this and give me a goal for the next season rank so we have everybody something to work towards too. But we're talking about the strongest heroes for you to play in Season 16. This is again for solo queue, this is not for team play or anything like that. I'm thinking about making a tier list either for solo queue ranked or for in general team play, like a proper high tier teams. What is like the tier list? But this is heroes that you guys will be able to carry with if you guys are good on them in solo queue. And notice that it's that you're good on, meaning if you are a horrible, let's say McCree, and McCree is like the hero, but you just don't know how to play him, then you shouldn't play him. And then same, if even though your main is not on this list, let's say you're a Genji main and Genji is not on the list, that does not mean that you should not play Genji. If you have a situation or scenario where you should play him in, and you're good on him, then that's it. But that's just, it just means that, in my opinion, that is not a really strong solo hero carry, right? That's something that you can just easily go in and start dominating with because he's just not strong enough. We will, of course, be covering supports, tanks, and DPS because we don't discriminate on this channel. And besides that, I would like to hear your hero list down below. What is kind of your go-to heroes in whatever position you guys play and what you guys think that is like your carry heroes? I would like to hear that below so we can hopefully help each other out here in the community, in the comment section, on our Discord, on my Twitter and Twitch, all of those, of course, link down in the description. I hope I see you there, and subscribe with bell notification because sometimes YouTube is like, fuck you, Jonal, and doesn't notify anybody that I post videos outside of the Discord community and so on. So subscribe with bell notification is something that I have to say now. So yeah, besides that, let's really just begin. If you like the video, press like, it helps the channel. So DPS wise, what am I looking at? I'm looking at Hanzo as the very first. I've talked about him a lot. I'm abusing him myself in ranked. He is, while not the main that I got to Grandmaster with, I actually got to Grandmaster mostly with Genji and Tracer. He is still one of the most powerful heroes in the game if you have them cast develop up. He can shred tanks, he can shred DPS, he can shred support, he can shred really anything. He works good against most stuff, difficult to take, easy to punish with, vision, and a very powerful ultimate if you know how to use it game sense wise. Besides that, Shaumbra, of course, we have to talk about Shaumbra. I made a video on how to dominate on Shaumbra in like diamond level and so on, where I break down Shaumbra's kit tool and how I play her on my diamond smurf, so you can check that out. I'll link it down in the description for you guys just in case. But just a general powerful hero right now. You can hack, again, he works against most team composition. Bunker comp works. You can hack the Bastion, you can have the Orisa for no shield, the Baptiste for no mortality field. Dive comp or quad DPS, hack the Hammond, hack the Diva, hack the Winston, build the MP, fuck him up, mess with the Genji, hack the Pharaoh out of the air, you know what I mean, mess with the Shaumbra or their Widowmaker, right? And then you're good with that. And when it comes to goats, well, hack the Ryan, hack the, you know, the Saria, hack the Diva again, right? Focus on those easy picks, especially the Ryan, and you got yourself a recipe for easy wins. So those are like very, very powerful, and two of, like, in my case, two of the most powerful heroes, both of them requiring some mechanical aim and of course some game sense, but relatively easy to pick up. And besides that, Pharah is something that is used more and more and more, and of course she is one of those heroes you will need some mercy accompanying you, and you must make sure of course that there's not someone that's hard countering you, but she is just in general a very powerful pick. We probably all played Pharah and had that one dominating match where just nobody seems to be able to touch us before they swap to 3 or 4 hits again, and sometimes even then they can't touch us. And besides that, she's just a good hero in the meta right now. She's been for a while, she's been a very powerful carry in solo queue, especially in some maps, so definitely trying to check out Pharah. I will add Tracer and Widowmaker on the list just because I use them a lot and I think that those are carry. Genji will not be on the list just because he's quite difficult to play in the current meta. He's been for a little bit of a while. I actually find him more difficult now than when everybody ran Ghost. In Goats, you could do a lot with him. Against quad DPS, especially like quad DPS with 2 flankers, 2 snipers, it becomes more difficult to work with him. As sometimes there's not really any space for us to work with. So therefore I will not include him on the list. I would rather add Widowmaker for some of these, especially in the lower ranks when people play further back and just super passive and scared like shit. Just dominate them with a Widowmaker. You can do that on both sides, as well as a Tracer, where you can harass their backline, deal with them, and so on, just mess up their entire thing. You can shred tanks with both, you can shred DPSs with both. General, all good heroes. Now, let's move on to tanks. As tanks, I have said this before, I get really frustrated that there are people out there that only plays one role. I think everyone, if you're a support man, you should learn off tank or main tank. If you're DPS, you should learn off tank or main tank, especially off tank, as they're so good for carrying. Holy shit. Dude, just think about the logic. Zarya has like those fucking guns, right? She's those muscles. Of course she can carry your fucking team. Hog is used to carrying his fat ass all around. Of course you can carry your team with it. D.Va has an artificial mech. Of course you can carry your team on him. And therefore, the 3 off tanks, Zarya, Hog, and D.Va, are incredible carry picks. Including Hammond. You can be very, very irritating, very harassing with Hammond. I think that requires a little bit more game sense. Some mechanics, of course, but more game sense. But Zarya, Hog, and D.Va are so powerful off tanks. You gotta try to play them. And especially in some situation when your main group is failing, there's not something. Sometimes a DPS is not the choice. Sometimes another support is not the choice. Sometimes you need a Zarya. Sometimes you need a Hog or a D.Va for that extra damage. Besides that, of course, we have Rinehart and Winston on the main tanks. Hammond is a general, like, if you know how to use him, use him, but I won't add him to the list because, again, you will need some form of game sense, even though I think that everybody should know him just for stall. But when it comes to the main king category, Rinehart and Winston, general good picks. They take some time to learn, but when you pick them up, Ryan is a really big carry. You can Earthshot and so on, and Winston just like slowly but surely just squeezing the air out of people like the gorilla he is. So yeah, that is kind of my tanks. I just highly recommend at least learning the off tanks, at least learning Hammond, learning Zarya, Hog, D.Va, 1 or 2 of them. Highly recommend it for any position that you play in. Besides that, let's go over to the support side. I've already said this, and it's gonna be the same as always. Ana, Zenyatta, 2 of the biggest carry supports. If you want to have impact on your solo queue match, you want to dominate, these 2 are incredibly powerful. Then, of course, you can frag harder than some DPSs. Gold damage, Zenyatta boys, fucking shoot those nuts in their face. It's pretty easy scopes, easy pretty kills. And generally powerful hero, transcendent, of course, this fucking glowing beam of fuck you, you're not killing my team. You have Ana with nades, sleeps, just CC, just general being a bitch about it. You have Nana, of course, in a lot of heals, and works as a semi-sniper. You can shut down fires, you can harass and get kills, in general just help while sustaining, also dealing a lot of damage. With the offensive of a Nana boost, where you just shoot this fucking steroids into the Rhine to make him fuck up people for her. Besides that, if you wanna dabble more into supports, Moira, Lucio, and Baptiste, 3 very powerful support heroes that you guys can use among each other depending on the situation, where you still can have a lot of impact, even though I still feel that those 3 are far more reliant on my team. It's more, okay, I sustain Lucio, not so much. You can speed and you can be a bitch and you can harass and be irritating, but especially Moira and Baptiste, it's far more about, okay, I have sustain, healing, I can help up my team, I can make sure that they don't die, I can try to slow down the enemy a little bit, and be irritating in mortality field and so on. But you're a little bit more reliant compared to, let's say, a Ana where you just land 6 anti-nades and kills 2 and sleeps the 3rd, right? And the Zenyatta just goes on a 6k easy peasy lemon squeezy flank Yada style. It's far more difficult. You will notice that I don't add break to this, and that's just because while you do have impact on the game as break, I do believe that there are so many people that is just locking break because they feel they have to play her, and that actually doesn't manage to carry with it because of the low amount of damage she has now. And therefore I will not add break, even though you can still, hold, press W and just mouse wanting it to victory with her. I just feel that, like, you guys should try these other supports instead, just because there are very easy way to punish break. People are getting far more aware of her, and therefore she's lost her effectiveness after nerfs, which was well deserved. Thank you, Blizzard. I'm very glad that I don't have to add break to this list, but that's my personal list. I would like to hear your down in the description if you want to hire me as a private coach. As always, it's 50 euros for a 2-hour session. You can hit me up on our Discord server. Doesn't matter if you're bronze or top 500. If you can get a bot to me, I can help you improve, rank up, and get better at the game. I hope I see you guys around on the Discord, on Twitch, on Twitter. So, as always, guys, I love you guys very, very much. Please take care of us, stay positive, and as always, guys, my name is Jonal. You guys keep the enemy in your crosshairs.